Well, cuties, it looks like a storm has touched down in the Virgin Islands. Did you guys see Stormy Steele's stories? And did you see Melody Cherie's stories? What is going on?
Chit chat with QT. Chit chat with QT. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with QT.
What's up, chit chat with QT? Chit chat with QT. Chit chat with QT.
Chit chat with QT was killing.
Chit chat with QT for all of this tea.
First, let me thank you guys for joining me for this video. Please make sure that you like this video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe. Now, everything that I discuss in this video are my own personal opinions, period, for entertainment purposes only, and everything is alleged. Now, look, I've been saying for the past month that the mellometers, the YouTube content creators, and anyone else that has shown support to Melody Cherie would be a part of these folks, the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville's storylines for season 7. And in my opinion, they got this bright idea from none other than Carlos King. That's my opinion. Carlos took the first strike, literally, when he decided to strike content creators' YouTube channels, myself included. If you guys did not see the proof of that, scroll back. I showed it. Now, I told you guys a couple months ago when that tour happened that I felt like that first tour stop with Melody Cherie was a money grab. And the reason why, because I feel like Carlos is just phony as hell. But Carlos proved it to me when he struck again channel after channel after that tour. Now, my personal opinion is Carlos is not to be trusted, and he hasn't been able to be trusted, in my opinion, since his days on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We all know the alleged incidents that happened concerning Candy. Candy spoke out several times of how she don't trust Carlos, how Carlos' team called Mama Joyce, didn't even let her know, trying to get Mama Joyce's opinions of things, and that was wrong. We also know what happened with Phaedra. And Carlos King, none other, allegedly was a part of that as well. But let me start off with this before I really get into anything. Melody Cherie cannot force anybody to say anything. Melody does not reach out to folks and say, do this for me or say this for me. She can't control any of what's been said by anybody. She has what? Over 600,000 followers on Instagram, which means a lot more people other than her mellometers or content creators on YouTube like her. And let me say this real quick. Shout out to the Cutie crew. We had an awesome live last night. Child, we were there over 4 hours on a Friday night. And it was a great, great live. But in that live, a lot of us tried to decipher a message from Mel's story. You definitely, most times, have to be a critical thinker when it comes to some of the things that Mel posts. And she's been this way. You definitely have to read between the lines. But in that story, she posted, "Yesterday was everything for me in so many ways. I've been manifesting and putting in the atmosphere no gray areas in my life. And baby, the freedom that comes with that when you get to that place is everything. It's freeing. Hashtag stay tuned. Hashtag trust me." And again, we all went one by one, given what we thought that could mean. No one would really know but Mel, but a lot of us did discuss it. Now, when she said yesterday was everything, I knew it was something that had happened on that trip because yesterday they were there. Okay? So it seemed like to me, either there was a conversation, and from that gray area when it comes to Mel was removed. Whether that was a good conversation or bad conversation, it seems like, yeah, I don't have to deal with that anymore. Now, as a grown-ass woman, I've been trying hard, child, to conjure up some type of hope when it comes to the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville, especially the women. Could they all talk things out as women? Could they all want to move past shit? But no, ma'am. Looks like that ain't happening. Now, before I get into what Stormy had to say, let me say this. Carlos, the cast, and whomever else need to realize how Mel gained her support in the first place. This has been a topic. If you did not see my video last week, I made a whole video breaking it down damn near from season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link that in the comments. Make sure you go back and watch it. But how did the mellometers form? How did Mel gain her support? And in my opinion, it happened because of the treatment that we witnessed. The treatment that she received from everybody on the cast, starting with her ex-husband, Martell. And then we saw cast member after cast member after cast member follow that same path. And a lot of us was like, oh, hell no. Now, Martell attempted to, and let me change that. Martell succeeded, really, in turning each and every one of them against Mel. We've heard him say, I need people on my side. They should be on my side. And that's what we've witnessed. Starting with, let's say, Destiny. Mel supported her financially. And what did Destiny do? She turned on her. Then we can go on down the line. Kimmy, Maurice, Marceau, Tisha, everybody. And Stormy. Let me not forget you, sis. Remember how you supported Martell when you went to Atlanta and partied with him and Sheree? Do you remember that? Whose side do you feel, Stormy, that you picked in that? Now, it may be considered petty that people will have to basically choose a side, but come on now. A lot of us that peep game realize exactly what you were doing, Stormy. Exactly what you were doing when you were partying with the ex-husband, okay? And a lot of us also remember before you were even on the show, Mel made a post on Facebook. You guys support my sis and her product, Canvas Beauty, way before Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm just wondering if Stormy remember that. But look, I'm already going on my little tangent, but let me go ahead and read what Stormy Steele put in her stories yesterday. And I'm definitely going to start with the shade of how it started. The gold chess piece. Now, we know Mel has been posting black chess pieces for quite some time. And I'm just saying to myself, damn, Stormy, can you get your own thing? Because you know that as well. You may not be following Mel on Instagram and all of that, but you know you're following her, okay? But let me go ahead and get into what Stormy had to say. She said, let's get into some things. People love to throw your past in your face, but let me run this right quick. Today, I have the top selling beauty product on TikTok, and Canvas is arguably one of the fastest growing brands in the world. I have dealt with hella growing pains in business, from being late on orders to getting an F rating on BBB from back in 2020 when I made $23 million in sales and couldn't ship orders fast enough. From hiring people who took advantage of me and almost losing everything in 2022. I got hit with lawsuit after lawsuit. But guess what? I own that. I'm thankful for that, and I'm stronger because of it. Okay, kudos to you. But when it comes to the next post, again, I'm just wondering why you had to lay it out that way. But that's Stormy. You guys know she do that. She's going to always prove how long she's been doing it, where she is on the ladder and everything else. She's been doing that. But she said, and because of it, I'm where I'm at today. And today, the math is mathing. The blessings are flowing. God is faithful, and I am thankful. And look, that's a good thing. I could care less about Stormy's business. I can really care less. I'm not going to come out and hate on it. It is what it is. But it is the next paragraph that got me like, wait a minute now. So she put, mind you, I dealt with all of this while being on a reality TV show and being harassed and bullied online. From being called ugly, big nose, ghetto, etc., to people literally campaigning to ruin my business because let them tell it I am an op to their fave. Their words, not mine. And I'm going to stop right there. If it's their words, I'm just wondering why you trying to blame Mel, because you're right. Their words, not hers, okay? But she said, I even dealt with stalking and people coming to my warehouse with cameras to harass and provoke reactions from me. You name it, I've dealt with it. And in the midst of all that, still I rose like a fucking phoenix. Turned nothing something. I'm assuming she meant turn nothing into something. And you can see it in real time. She goes on to say, I'm typically quiet, low-key, and don't be on no time but my business. But when it's real-life demons out there fighting to ruin your business, your character, and your life because they need to be seen as the victim. Now, who are you talking about when you say that, Stormy? Who? Who is the demon that's fighting to ruin your business? Because you already mentioned that it's people online that's calling you ugly and all of that. So I'm just wondering, are you trying to say Mel is trying to be seen as the victim? But she said quiet goes out the window. Now look, Stormy, you've never been quiet, okay? I don't know if you've seen what we've seen, but we've heard you say, get active to Tisha. We heard you tell Destiny her money wasn't long enough to come at you. Valentine's Day, remember? That's how you stepped on the scene on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Stormy. But let me finish. She said, I'm finally ready to talk about the things I've dealt with silently amongst the people who love and care for me. Not just business stuff, but everything the way I used to. The next thing I share will leave y'all gagged. What is it? Go ahead and share, girl. because you know we're going to talk about it. But she said, because what I had to go through in January due to hate is something I wouldn't wish on nobody. So I need you guys to refresh my memory to January. What did she go through? Now, we do know that January was that tour stop in Huntsville, and we also know that Stormy was there. So I was under the impression that things had to be okay because that tour stop was about the star of Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is Melody Cherie. Stormy was there. Okay? So I'm going to say this again. Mel had nothing to do with whomever called Stormy ugly. Hell, Stormy blocked me because somebody in my comments said that she had a big nose. And look, even I can't control what folks drop down and say. And I never, ever felt the need to go there as far as looks or nose or features or whatever else. I do, me, myself personally, try to keep it on what I've seen. And from what I've seen is, Stormy Steele, you're bogus. Just to keep it a buck with you. You let your mother talk about Mel and her kids. See, Betty tried to act like Mel did not have the means to even have her children swim in a pool. Like she was, some hood rat living in the ghetto, but they had to drive and go to Stormy's house to get in a pool. And no, we know that most likely it was just a play date between the kids. Did you stop your mama, Stormy? No. Guess what you said? You said you can't control your mother, but you expect Mel to control strangers. Really? Stormy mentioned being harassed and bullied online. And guess what, Stormy? We feel the same damn way. Because you allowed your mama to do the same damn thing. You did that. We saw your mother snap off at that tea party on the show. At who, Stormy? Mel. And then guess what? Betty doubled down on it at the reunion. Do you remember how she acted at the reunion last season, Stormy? Do you remember her going at Mel? Because we do. And guess what? We did not see you do anything to stop your mother. We didn't see you say, look, mama, you wrong now. Look, mama, I'm grown. I can handle this myself. We didn't see that. Because why? I think you wanted your mama to be the new Wanda, another wildebeest who we've seen out of control against who? Melody Cherie. Now, I want you guys to take note. I'm keeping this on what I've seen since Stormy don't see it. Stormy mentioned stalking and people coming to her warehouse. And I've said this, and I'll say it again. My content will be on what I've seen. And I wouldn't have went to Stormy's warehouse, but we're going to keep it a buck again. BT, when she did go to Stormy's warehouse, she was on the outside. On the outside. She was in the parking lot. But what we did see was Stormy Steele coming out like a raging bull to confront BT. Stormy even said that she would F her up. If I'm not mistaken, she said F her old ass up. Now, we talking about a senior citizen, an elderly woman who was just doing what? In the parking lot, a public parking lot, videotaping. My thing is this. Stormy, you didn't have to go outside. You could have prevented all of that. And Mel definitely didn't have a damn thing to do with that. But you could have closed your door. And that's it, that's all. So who made you come outside and confront BT? Because guess what? I think she would have done her little video and she would have left. That's what I think. But people want Mel to check her supporters, and they've never checked themselves. I don't care again about Stormi's personal dealings. But, Stormi, I've seen folks on Facebook talk about ordering product. They haven't received the product still till this day. And I haven't really seen you confront them. And I think that that's where you need to direct your anger. But let me say this. Just a week ago, a chick on Facebook tried to say that she received bad service from Mel after she ordered 7th Avenue beauty products. And guess what happened? Mel didn't go online and say, I bet you Stormi put her up to this. No, Mel dropped down in them comments. And she asked the chick, hey, what's your order number? Let me look into this. Guess what? The chick never responded with an order number or anything else. Can we blame Stormi for that? Because the chick did say, don't worry about it. I'll just go to Canvas. Now, on the outside looking in, people would assume that that is somebody that supports Stormi Steele that wanted to pick with Mel. Not too many came out here and blasted you, Stormi. So again, you cannot blame Mel for what's done. But like I told you guys, I knew this was going to happen because they don't like the support that Mel gets. But don't forget how the mellometers were formed and why. Don't forget how Mel supporters came to do what? Support her. One by one. We saw everybody, including you, Stormi, turn on Mel. And I don't think that Mel plays the victim. But has she been one? In my opinion, absolutely. She's been a victim of the cast who is on the damn show because of her and her vision. She's been a victim of them turning on her one by one. So yeah, as far as the support that she's going to get from me, we ready. I will continue to point out what I see, okay? When it comes to the treatment and the phoniness that we've seen right here on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I will say this before I go. It would have been a beautiful thing to see two sisters doing the damn thing. Mel's doing the damn thing in her right, and I'm not going to be the one to come out here and say that Stormi is not doing the damn thing. It would have been beautiful to see on this show two women, two bosses, where there was no jealousy, no competition, no hate, no envy, and no shade. Again, two bosses doing the damn thing. But, yeah, Stormi, I would have cut your ass off too if I looked up and you was partying with my ex-husband and his new chick. I would have cut your ass off too, Stormi, if you allowed your mama, and I'm going to use the words that you use, to attack me, bully me, harass me, hell, stalk me. Because your mother was talking about Mel damn near before the show even started. So, yeah, I don't see why you confused. I really don't. I don't see why any of them are confused. I've said it before. Never have we seen any compassion from Kimmy as far as what Mel went through as a woman. But we know Kimmy's favorite saying, Martell is a good guy. We know we haven't seen any compassion from Tisha because Tisha was the main one throwing it in Mel's face when Mel was still married to Martell. And I could go on and on and on. I mentioned in our members only live last night, shout out to somebody on Facebook that posted the clip of Martell Holt saying in his green screen, the reason why I say that Marceau cheats is because he does. But guess what? We've seen Marceau turn on Mel as well and support who? Martell. Okay? So I'm going to end this with what Melody Cherie had to say. Some things aren't for the weak. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. And if anybody don't know, the kitchen is hers. The kitchen is her creation. The kitchen is Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if you can't stand the heat, yeah, go ahead and go. Nobody is forcing you. But we not going to act like we haven't seen what we've seen. At least I'm not. So, yeah, I didn't have to touch on anything that Stormy just mentioned, her lawsuits, her money, or anything else. That's not important to me. But the way you turned on Mel after she supported you before you were on Love and Marriage Huntsville is bogus. It was bogus for you, it was bogus for Destiny, and it was bogus for everybody else. But everybody is confused. I don't get it. So as I mentioned, the support is not going anywhere, especially now that we peep game. And I peeped it as soon as I got that strike, baby, because Carlos could have done what? Reached out and said, you know what? I don't want to talk about what was on that tour. And would you mind taking that video down? I would have taken the video down. When I contested that strike and YouTube let me know I could put it right back on up there, that let me know what? That Carlos didn't have a reason to strike that channel. But he was just at the tour stop in Huntsville with none other than Melody Cherie, getting that money, baby, a whole money grab. So I'm not going anywhere when it comes to what I've seen and what it looks like we gonna see in season 7. Stormy, if you don't know, you should now know. Just like you couldn't control your mama, Mel cannot control strangers. She just can't do it. And, you know, if we just keeping it real, yes, we support her, but we don't know Mel personally. So we are really, in a sense, strangers. But y'all want her to do what? Cut off her support so y'all could do what? Try to do what's been done? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts. I will have another video later today, possibly, if not, first thing tomorrow. I am going to be most likely restructuring a little bit when it comes to the channel. The majority of my lives going forward will be members only. The majority, because we about to let loose. So if you are not a member, I will put it in the comments. Make sure you join the Cutie Crew. To the Cutie Crew, we will have our sister girl lives. But yeah, it looks like we got to let loose. I don't know what made me say that, but I told you guys, my Patreon and members only will be my Let Loose Lounge. Sometimes you can see in the future. And I knew this was coming. So, Mel, for those of us that support you, we know you didn't ask us to. And for me, I ain't going nowhere. So they can go ahead and bring it. Not much Mel is going to have to say, but I know she going to do what needs to be done when it comes to what she needs to say on that show. When it comes to what we say, it is us that's saying it. So anyway, drop down in the comments, guys. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have not, please go ahead and like the video, share it with your friends, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. Chat with you guys soon. Bye.
Chit chat with QT. Chit chat with QT. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with QT. With QT. Chit chat with QT. Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat with QT.